All right. We got ourselves another great episode of Young Justice. I mean, it seems like ever since episode
Like 3 episodes ago.
19. Yeah, literally episode 19 when we got to see my boy Razor again. These episodes have been really good, really amazing. And we got to see our good friend Dick Grayson finally. And
Yeah, we got some nostalgia right there too with Dan Danger.
exactly. And it just, to me, what I love about this episode is it seems like every plot line has been like, it's all important. It doesn't feel like there's any filler. Everything's connected together. And Dick is literally bringing the whole team together. So this is another great moment. So I want to start off talking about the whole just Nightwing meeting Zatanna and how everything's just coming together. Like, how do you feel about this going on? What's your thoughts? Because I've been so hyped
Yeah,
ever
dude.
since.
I'm super happy about it because it feels like everything's been slightly disjointed ever since the beginning, but ever since the last arc with Rocket, we can see how things are piecing together. And finally, this final push is when we get to see all of our favorite characters actually come together. And it's just I keep saying it over and over again, but it feels more and more like Young Justice. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I love it because it's not just that, but like even the small stuff, like how they come to those conclusions. Like we get to see him how he's like a detective, and now he's like, okay, if this happened, this must be that happened, and then it's just like I just love how they play off of that, and as well as the one of my favorite scenes is the Superman scene because we know why Superman can't tell the information, but at the same time, we know why Dick wants the information. So it's like a really interesting scene where it's like, it's like, come on, guys, just trust me. And he's like, well, I don't trust you, but by them not trusting you, it means there must be something. So it's like, I
Well,
love that.
I think that Superman does trust, obviously he trusts Nightwing, but he
Yeah,
just can't say because he promised. So he has to keep the
exactly,
promise. Yeah.
exactly,
And
exactly,
Nightwing figured out anyway, so it's all good.
exactly. He's again our boy Wonder Detective right there. An interesting note, and maybe I had to read the comments to know about this, but I didn't know Nightwing also dated Rocket because they kind of imply that, which was interesting.
Yeah, they basically outright said it
Yeah,
when when Artemis said so. So yeah.
yeah, that's an interesting note. I did not know about that. But yeah, I definitely love how those pieces are coming together. And one thing I really loved was that fight scene with Clarion because again, one thing I've been complaining about this whole season is that the fights haven't been great, but for whatever reason, that fight scene looked really, really well done. Like really nice, especially with Nightwing
Okay.
coming in and like one of my favorite moments was like when he was jumping off of the weird buildings because it kind of reminded me of Mario or something like that. So it was like it was really well done and really illustrated. So
Yeah. I mean that fight in particular, I'm pretty neutral about. Like I thought some of it was just happening for the sake of action.
mhm.
But I guess Clarion's mischievous, so he's just doing whatever he wants, and then everyone has to fight back.
Yeah, I think that's definitely what it is. Yeah, my only concern with this whole Nightwing thing pushing the plot is that there's not going to be much of an emotional resolve for Nightwing, which isn't bad. Like, I could still enjoy the story regardless of it, but I would love there to be sort of his own little journey because it just seems like he's just kind of this like kind of like guy pushing the plot, which again is good for us, but at the same time, it just doesn't really feel a very emotionally
Yeah.
resolved for it to be his arc. So
I think having Superboy back will be emotionally resolving enough.
I mean, we're talking about Nightwing though. Like I'm talking about his own personal thing. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
mean, he's the one who found Superboy with Aqualad and Wally, so
yeah, but like I never felt that Superboy and, Dick were that close. So if it was like something like if this was like, for example, Wally, that'd be a different story. Then I would be like, okay, that would really be emotionally resolving. But,
yeah.
that's my thing about that. On that note, so Zatanna, it's kind of revealed with this whole arc in general that Zatanna is able to look at dead spirits and see if they're peacefully and see if they're having like a peaceful, basically they're in peace, right? I'm curious, did she ever do the same thing for Wally? Because I wonder why, Artemis never asked that.
Oh, that's such a good question. I mean, like, that's such a good
Yeah, that's
question.
what I was
Oh
wondering.
man, that question opens a lot of possibilities.
Yeah.
But you'd have to assume so, right? I mean, okay. I don't think she did. Why? Because the only reason she did it for Connor was because she saw him in the Phantom Zone
Fair.
when she touched the bus.
That's fair.
That was probably like, she's probably not checking all her dead friends, like whether they're resting or not, you know? Like, I'm pretty sure it was just because she got like this feeling from the bus and had
That's
to check
fair.
it,
That's
you know?
fair. That's fair.
Yeah. That's why I'm still holding off. Wally's gonna be back.
That's fair, but I would like that because that would answers a lot of questions about is Wally really dead or not, you know? So
yeah, maybe she'll do it next for Wally.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. The next plot point I want to talk about is with the whole Lord Zod with Mala Falak and Kid Flash. And I love this because because one question I had was like, why didn't Kid Flash just run and solve it?
Literally.
And they answered this question. He did. He just failed. So
yeah, it played out exactly like how we talked about it. In the last review, I said, you know, Lord Zod is Kryptonian, so he probably can be like, he can see as fast, right? So
yeah, I just like it because it's like they read our minds.
yeah.
So yeah, that was very nice. I like that. And they brought back the whole, you know, callers, which was smart. But what I do like is that, like you said, they do feel Lord Zod's crew does kind of remind me of the old gang, but more of like a toxic version, because every time Olafalak turns into another person, it kind of reminds me of Miss Martian, how Miss Martian was able to just transform to all these other people. So it's cool seeing that played again. So that was very interesting.
Yeah, that was a good scene. Like, I'm glad it answered our questions, and I'm glad they started off with that.
Yeah.
And I think it also answers our question about the treadmill, because they didn't go back in time. They just moved really fast. So I think the treadmill, all it does is just help them travel faster.
Okay, fair. That's true. But I guess
otherwise they would have used it to go back in time.
Yeah, that's true. But then I guess my only question to that is like, they didn't I don't remember them explicitly saying what's his plan for like what is he trying to do now? Because it seemed like they kind of implied it, but they didn't really say it. So I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, the the Legion girl, I'm sorry, I can't remember her name at the moment.
I think it's Saturn Girl.
Yeah, she taunted Lord Zod, saying like, you know, you basically destroyed the projector now and you can't fix it. So so I'm pretty sure they cannot go back in time from here on.
That's fair point to bring up in that thing. But yeah, and then I don't know, I just love how he's all like, I'm gonna punish you guys. I don't know. I don't know why. I love Lord Zod. So Lord Zod's been kind of one of my favorite villains this season. So it's just the way he acts, because he's very rational, but also very chaotic. So it's like, I love those kind of villains. So yeah, we'll definitely see what comes up with that. And the next, and I guess the other plot point, because there was only 3 major plot points, is the Superboy and Zod stuff. Which, now I question what you say about Superboy, because you first said he was playing him, but now I don't think so.
Yeah, I question myself. Yeah, I don't think so either. I'm pretty sure he's completely brain blasted and reverted back to a certain state, lost his mind slightly.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to portray Phantom Girl.
Really? I think Phantom Girl is going to help him regain a sense of himself.
I don't know. We'll see about that, but it seems like it. But what I like is how much I forgot his wife or his girl's name, but I like how much she distrusts him, because it makes a lot of sense for her to distrust him, but also makes sense for Lord Zod to trust him. I mean, not Lord Zod, General Zod to trust him.
Yeah, it was a good scene having them realize that he's part of the House of El and Superman's clone and everything. I just find it funny how he's like, oh yeah, I killed him, based on the vision he had in the Phantom Zone.
Yeah, that's another thing.
It's a very convenient hallucination.
That's a very interesting. I feel like that's gonna play a role, because like once they see Superman, then they're gonna be like, wait, we can't trust Superboy, and then that might cause something within him. So that's an element that's definitely feel like it's gonna be played, as well as that we have Superman. So I feel like Superman's definitely going to be played at this arc. Hopefully it's played at this arc.
Yeah,
for sure.
Man, I kind of wish Connor still had the shields with him. He could definitely use them.
The shields.
Yeah, it just feels like he's so nerfed without them, you know?
That's fair.
There's gonna be so many Kryptonians coming out with
Oh man, that's true. That is dude. That okay. I hope it doesn't end on a cliffhanger where all it is just all the Kryptonians just coming out after Earth. Because to have all those Kryptonians there, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, other than that, that was basically the episode. Since the episode only had like 3 plot lines, so overall, I know I enjoyed this episode a lot.
Yeah, me too.
It's you know we're hoping to stay strong. If it will make the plot enjoyable, or at least the arc enjoyable. So yeah, I guess we can read comments.
Sure.
Carter says, OMG, I'm not here for the slander for Voyager. I'm obsessed with him. Wasn't really my favorite plot line, but you know, I'm glad someone is out there for it. So
yeah. Koro Agami basically said that, well, I feel like Zatanna is gonna go to Nightwing for help, which, you know, you and he was right. No Detective Chimp or anything like that, which makes no sense.
Detective Chimp, we still want Detective Chimp.
Anyways, but yeah, he basically says something similar along the lines of what I said. Like, he hopes that Nightwing gets the focus he deserves because he's gonna go through some survivor's guilt from the founding team, like with Wally and Connor. I mean, Calder's still around, so it's all good.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe that would be his thing.
But I mean, like in this episode, it didn't seem like he had much guilt. Really, it was more like, by the off chance that he's really alive, let's do this, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing. I want to see that guilt. But yeah, Tevla says, yeah, we knew that Zatanna was referring to Nightwing. Or at least I know. I was just kind of joking about with Batman. You know, it would be funny if she went to Batman, but we kind of knew that.
Okay. The other comment from Tevya says, I love this show, and seeing Tom Array sacrifice himself to save the entire planet was really awesome, but also sad because as a fan of the Green Lantern Corps, it was really satisfying to see him save the day and save the entire planet. I'm also intrigued on how the rest of the heroes are going to get to Connor and get him out of the Phantom Zone, given that Zod and his army are still trapped in there. Well, we got a clue that it has something to do with the bus. So I mean, it's leaning a lot towards what Zatanna can do, basically. So
yeah,
but they still haven't gotten M'gann in the fold yet, which I'm very curious to why not. You know, like I'm pretty sure she'll appear next episode, but
yeah,
and Beast Boy, like I feel like those two need to be a part of this.
Yeah, if Beast Boy doesn't help out at the end, screw the show. No, I'm joking.
All right, man. You better stick to those words.
I'm just playing, all right. I have no skin in this game, all right. All right. So A Tribe Called Quest says, I think we all need to be patient. Ha ha ha. The first half of the season seemed weird, but it's definitely paying off now that the legions in Zatanna, Savage, Connor, etc. But I do agree with you guys that Rocket's story is pretty probably the weakest part of this arc. Also, the ring would fly into the zone and go into Connor, but I'm open-minded about the bug lantern. Okay, so your first statement, I can see what you're saying. Yeah, it seemed kind of weird, but now it's kind of paying off. That's just kind of how it is with stories for the most part. Like, you're kind of like unfamiliar at the beginning, and then later on, it pays off. Hopefully, it completely pays off, because you know things.
Well, I don't want to discount the idea of like still making a story interesting, even though it's told in parts. You know.
Yeah.
So there were definitely certain things I feel each episode could have done better, but having the plot and storylines being unfolded and playing out now, like, and all of it making sense, that gives some payoff, some good satisfaction and a payoff for all that setup. So
yeah,
you're definitely right, but I still think they could have done certain things better in each episode. In the beginning of like for instance the Mars arc and some of the Atlantis arc and stuff like that. But yeah,
100%. I 100% agree with Scott here, and I also can see your point, Tribe Called Quest. And thanks for seeing our part with Rocket's story. With, you know, it is what it is. We wish there could have been more to that, but you know.
But I also thought that your theory of, or your guess that Connor would get the Green Lantern ring, that would have been sweet. That would have been so awesome.
I don't know how to feel about that, because like, I mean, it would be cool to see a Kryptonian and a lantern, but then it's like, why does a Kryptonian need to be a lantern?
Yeah, I get the point, but it's It's I mean, Superman has done it in the Injustice comic with the Yellow Lantern ring, which was pretty cool.
Okay, maybe I need to check that out more often then.
Okay, G Luke says, I believe Superboy is still aloof. I think he genuinely thinks that the Phantom Zone projector was kidnapping him. This is very true. It seems true now. Remember, no one in the present besides Metron knows about Zod, the Phantom Zone, or the projector. He has no reason to think he is evil. This is true. On the flip side, Zod purposely explained to Superboy how being strong-willed can like help you with your thoughts and whatnot. And as Superboy is well adept with that, it would be a clever way to show that Connor was always wise to him. Yeah, that's true. That's what I wanted to believe, but this episode sort of makes me think that the former is true. Like he was just going off of instinct and trying to protect Zod.
Yeah, that's what they said. But who knows? Maybe this is actually a twist. They're gonna subvert our expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Sidma says, he did say Krypton was the planet he couldn't save. Yeah, he mentioned that in last or earlier episode. It's just with this episode, or at least the episode where 421, he didn't say Krypton again, so it's just weird for us to think that he's referring to Krypton in that moment. So yeah, that's why we were questioning it.
He probably was though. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I actually didn't notice the whole, like, he mentioned Krypton earlier previously. Okay, AC Dub's comment has like a lot of emojis. I'll go ahead and display them, but I'm not gonna exactly read them out loud, but thank you for the very enthusiastic comment. Okay, and let's see, my face. Oh, interesting. Okay, so he realized that the Green Lantern Corps is investigating the Kaiser Thrall, which is Lor Zod's device, and that was also seen in the end credit scene as well. And it could lead them to realizing that it's Apocalypse technology and use it as proof of them violating the peace treaty with New Genesis, which gives them the right to retaliate against them since the planet was nearly destroyed. That's a very, very in-depth theory right there. I think that I don't see anything incorrect with it. Like, yeah. I hope it goes somewhere. I mean, like, usually end credit scenes don't have too much weight on the rest of the story, which makes me feel like the Kaiser Thrall isn't going to be like super important, but maybe this was an exception for this episode.
Yeah, I like that, especially because we know that at some point with Apocalypse is going to need to be played, so yeah.
And then there's another part to the comment. I don't think Lor is going to go back to get the Phantom projector despite not caring about the timeline. If the description for the episode is any indication, when one portal opens for Rocket, another closes forever. That part about another portal closing forever might indicate that the projector is gone for good. Yeah, that seems to be the case. At least everyone's acting like it. So yeah. Appreciate the comment.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Mark Magnificent, sorry. Magnificent 01. The fact that Forager got the Green Lantern ring was strange to me. At no point in the arc did she show even any remote signs of a strong will, which I agree. But at the same time, the ring chooses its next word based on them having the ability to overcome fear. Maybe she can, but there was no signs of that either. Yeah, I
just think it was a bad choice.
Yeah, it was a bad choice. Because even if we want to make the fear argument, are you telling me there was nobody else overcoming their fear? Like, so it's like, okay, but yeah.
Yeah, that's whatever. The other one, X-Men said Orion definitely should have gotten the GL ring. And like we mentioned it previously, he definitely has a strong will and everything. And that would have been cool to see. It's true that, you know, like a lot of these people are already like really powerful. And if they get a lantern ring, you know, they'll be even more powerful. You know what? Connor deserves the ring because he can fly with it and he can't fly normally. That's why he needs it, all right?
Connor overcome his fear, all right? They said if you overcome your fear, you get the ring. So based off that rule, Connor deserves the ring. All right.
All right. That's all the comments. So thank you guys so much for leaving comments. Like usual, you know, if you leave comments in this video, we'll read them in the next review.
Yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.
Peace.